All right, we're here at the South Coast Tournament. We're on, this is hole 3. It's a par 5. This is the White Cliff Golf Club hole. So I've only gotten this hole one time. And what I found, what I did here was I used a quarterback and a kingmaker. And I started off on this side right here, rolling out to the end. I used 3 topspin, and it got me nicely out there. Um, Coming in with a sniper with that particular bag. I'm not sure, from where the line is here, from where you can get out to here, it's about somewhere in that neighborhood is where I was redlining right there. So to get out into this area here, I suppose is possible to get that same distance, but I'm not really sure that you can maneuver around this unless you tried to actually get over to the other side. And I don't think we're going to be able to do that in Ricky. We don't have enough winds. So somebody may be able to drive out into here and then be able to get a bounce that goes over to try and get out into this area. But I don't think we're going to be able to do that in Ricky just because the winds aren't high enough. I'm not sure that in Ricky, other than going to this island and coming straight out at that, there really is another viable shot. Now, you can hit over here and you can do this. The deal is that it doesn't give you a very good shot at the green. I mean, if you look at the green, really the best way to come at the green is to come straight at it. Anything that's over in this area here, and now you're putting this sand, this rough, this sand, this water, this sand, this rough, this sand. I mean, you got all the stuff that you're putting in the way. So you're going to have to work really hard in order to get out into this area, and then you worked really hard and you gave yourself a less optimal shot than if you were able to come straight at it. So unless you can get way up here and get into a smaller club's range and really give yourself a increased shot at it, I'm not sure that this side over here for Ricky is really. But in pro and expert and masters, this side over here may come into play. This may be the side that they use, and they may not use this out here. So it'll just depend on whatever division and that you're playing in. But I think in Ricky, we're going to end up. This is going to be the optimal line out here. So let's go take a look at the shot here. And I was out practicing with my accurate bag when I ran across this hole, and I think that that's going to be what I'm going to use in the tournament. So I used a quarterback, a kingmaker, and 3 topspin. And you can see where I'm at here as far as red line. So the red line's going to be up in this area. So I suppose if I used a 4 or 5 power ball with an extra mile, you may be able to land on the other side over there and really drive it up to get into a different club's range, like a short iron or a long iron. And I'll have to try that as I get this hole more. I'll try it from different ways, but this side over here is actually a pretty easy, pretty clean shot, and it gives you a great view coming in of the green. The deal is that you're only going to be able to you're going to use this is going to be a wood shot every time. See how our opponent does? That shot will be a lot easier with the quarterback than it will be with an extra mile. And you don't necessarily have to use a kingmaker. I was just using a kingmaker because a lot of times whenever I use my quarterback, especially in the tournament, when the tournament's going on, if you're using a quarterback, I usually will use at least a katana or a kingmaker. They're kind of a matched set. And you can see where my red line is here. And I kind of like that distance. I got a little bit of headwind here, so I have to pull back a little bit from that line so that I can give myself a little bit of room. Now, notice at the end of the ball guide here, it's turning. It's almost like it's going downhill at the very end, where it's going very strongly to the right. The next time I come to this hole, I'm going to come at it from the further to the right, and then I'm going to use left-hand curl. And it looks like there's a trough in the middle of the green where we may be able to run our ball up that trough and have less of that movement where we're actually trying to go to the hole. And and for some reason it seemed like it wanted to suck us towards that sand. And if I start over here and use left-hand side spin to bring it back up to the hole, we can get further away from that sand. It's always weird when you come to these holes for the very first time and you're trying to see if the right adjustments are right, or if it's playing uphill or downhill, or I haven't gone through all of the holes yet. I still think there's a couple holes that I haven't actually played. To really kind of add up what we need, but this doesn't look like a lot of these holes aren't going to be high percentage holes. A lot of people are going to struggle just to get on and get birdies. So I suppose the best way to look at this is when you go to these holes is just going so that you can get, if this is an eagle hole, not picking up shots, but just like what you need to get, just going out there and playing so that you can get what you need to get, and don't worry about trying to pick up shots. Once you figure the hole out down the road, you'll start to pick those shots up. The last tournament, if people would have just went out and not tried to pick up anything, not tried to work hard to pick up extra shots, not tried to get hole-in-ones, not tried to get those albatrosses, not tried to get that extra eagle on that hole, but just went out there and played the holes and just tried to get this, just the flat score, you'd have been in the top 10. But I think a lot of people were trying really hard to pick up those extra shots and playing so hard that they actually knocked themselves out of the top 10. And I think this tournament's going to be one of the same things. It's just coming out here and playing nice and consistent is going to be the key on these holes. So first time looking at it, I've only played this hole once, but I do think that this shot out here coming out to the tip, and in this case I used a quarterback Kingmaker 3 top spin, is going to give us a nice clean shot. But it may be possible for us to get out to this other fairway, and if we can get out here, it might take a big power ball, then we could roll. And next time I get this hole, I'll try distances with a 5 power ball. If we could get it over here and roll it all the way down to the end, we're looking at a short iron shot, and that could change the whole deal. Because if this is possible, and there are people out there that are shooting down here and taking the short iron shot to get that albatross, I'm not sure that I'll be able to not do that to give myself that same shot. I don't know that I could give them that much of a leg up, although I do like this shot down here. If it's possible to get up here, we need to at least explore it. All right, that was hole number 3, par 5 of the South Coast Tournament. Thanks for watching.